And welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here at the News Forum. And of course, I'm here with Jerome Gessaroli. He is a senior fellow at the Macdonald Laurier Institute. Jerome, we've been kind of dancing around this. I think you've already referenced this a little bit, but the facts are that Canada is falling behind its peers with respect to economic growth and enrichment, per capita GDP, all of these markers. How worried are you about Canada's position?
Well, well, right now, the trends and the statistics are not optimistic at all. The OECD did a report not too long ago, and they're forecasting Canada to have I think the lowest long term over the next 20, 30 years per capita economic growth of any of the 38 OECD countries. I mean, that's a little bit of we don't know whether that'll happen or not. Hopefully not, but that's a rather damning type forecast. And what people have to realize too is that very often the politicians, the government likes to say, look, oh, Canada's had a GDP growth of 3% or 2% or whatever it might be, and it's the highest of the G7. Well, what we're talking about there is the overall growth in GDP.
Right.
But a lot of that growth is being driven just by population increase.
Exactly.
But a better measure and more appropriate measure, more accurate measure would be GDP per capita, per person. What's the growth? And there we find that we're actually getting it's worse off. And we're one of the laggards in terms of GDP per growth, and that's the measure we need to improve on.
Yeah, and obviously it's a lot closer when you look at it from that angle. It's a lot closer to people's lived experience because statistics may show, oh, our growth is in the upper echelons of the G7, but that's not how people feel it, how they're encountering it in their lives in terms of trying to pay for housing or a pound of butter or what have you.
No, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And it's easy to get higher growth rates when you have lots of population coming in. But how is that pie, that economic pie, divided? When you're dividing it between when the pie is growing smaller than the people going to be eating that pie, well, then yeah, we're going to be not doing as well, and we're going to be feeling the effects that you're just referring to.
So that getting back to our topic, freedom and fortune, the great enrichment, uh, what does Canada need to be doing more of to get a higher growth pattern for people?
Yeah, we need to get back to the fundamentals. Okay, we need to get back to what drives innovation, what drives competition, and we have to let people do that. Canadians can compete. Canadians are innovative. They're very well educated. So, I don't want to come down negatively on Canada. Canada has so much to offer, but the policies of the government will dictate ultimately how we do economically. And so we need to make sure that our resources aren't all tied up in federal and provincial bureaucracies. We need to make sure that taxes aren't an impediment to innovation and attracting high-tech talent and other talent to the country. And we need to find a way to cut this red tape, these regulations, and to the minimal degree possible. We still need some, but cut as much as possible to allow these companies to do what they do best. And I just want to leave it with one last thing.
Sure.
If people think that government policy is not important in terms overall in the long run of the wealth of a country, well, I just ask anybody to take a look at the difference between North Korea and South Korea. There's a famous satellite photo shows at night, and where the astronauts say you can't tell the political boundaries from space. Well, actually, in this case, you can, because it's lit up. It's lit up in all of South Korea massively, and it's completely dark in North Korea because they don't have the power and the economy to even show for that. So it does matter.
Yeah, that's a vast, multi-decade experiment with very, very crystal clear results. Thank you for mentioning that. Jerome Gessaroli, it's been great having you on the program again. Thanks for coming in and sharing your insights.
Thank you very much, Tony. Have a good day.
You too.